Funding from the Conquer Cancer Foundation can be very important in helping patients. And just as one example, I'll give you my history, which is that the funding we received set up future clinical trials of the proteasome inhibitor Velcade. And that drug now has contributed to a doubling in the overall survival of patients with multiple myeloma. So even a small investment in a promising researcher can pay off handsomely for patients as well as their families and caregivers. Cancer touches many lives in America, and probably everybody has either a family member or a friend who has someone that they're related to with cancer. One of the reasons why people like myself are involved in what we call translational research, which is taking laboratory findings and trying to apply them to the clinic, is because our goal is to help patients live longer and also live better lives. I was awarded a Young Investigator Award while I was a fellow at Johns Hopkins. The research project which we had proposed, which the Conquer Cancer Foundation funded, was to look at a new set of drugs that interfered with protein digestion inside cells. And what that laboratory data showed eventually is that these drugs looked like they were encouraging. When we did take them to the clinic, we found that they helped patients with multiple myeloma and 2 different types of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. And now in myeloma, that drug, which is now known as bortezomib or Velcade, is a standard of care both for newly diagnosed patients as well as patients who have relapsed multiple myeloma, and has contributed to an improvement in the overall survival, which has doubled in the past 10 years. Funding is tight these days, which is one reason why I think the support from the Conquer Cancer Foundation is very valuable, especially to young investigators. That funding led directly to FDA approval of a drug which is now available and is literally used in tens of thousands of patients and has made a big difference in improving outcomes for those patients. So there is no greater reward than being involved in a story where you can take a finding that looks interesting in the laboratory and have it ultimately lead to a drug approval, which can help patients literally in the tens of thousands, both in America and all over the world. And as a physician, of course, you can help the patients that you see directly, but by being involved in this research, you can help 10 or 100 times as many patients indirectly if you find something that they can use through their doctor locally. So I think that more philanthropic support of cancer research efforts would be very helpful, because there are lots of good people out there with very good ideas that could help patients if only they had the funding to be able to execute them.